We have to remember the context of when this is taking place. The Great War broke out in 1914, so we're slap bang in the middle of it. And British soldiers were being sent in their droves over to Flanders, and in the summer of 1916, we know how many hundreds of thousands of people died on the battlefields of Flanders, but some of the soldiers were sent to Dublin before going to Flanders. And at that time, the rising took place over the Easter weekend. It wasn't very well supported at home, but it was the start of a movement that led to Irish independence a few years later. It is entirely a true story, as I say, a story that's not often told, and we found that it is a true story at a number of levels. At the heart of the story, despite the fact that there is a war going on, it's a love story. It's a Romeo and Juliet style love story. In Romeo and Juliet, it is a story of forbidden love. That's what we have. We have a beautiful Catholic girl who falls in love with a British Protestant soldier, which was absolutely taboo at the time. So whilst that love affair plays itself out, the rising takes place around it. And there are many examples of great pieces of theatre and film, for that matter, that use this as a theme. Dr. Zhivago is a great example, where the love story is told whilst the Russian Revolution goes on around them. But what's particularly nice for us, when we did the first showcase in London a little while back, one of the photographer ladies was in absolute floods of tears at the end of the performance, and we went to comfort her and say, well, you know, what's the matter? And she said, well, this is a true story. This is what happened to my grandmother, who was a Catholic girl who had fallen in love with a British Protestant soldier, and they were forced to leave the country and never return to Ireland. So we were comforting her, but also rather pleased to know that this is a real story. This is a true story of love and emotion. And it contains all the themes within that love story of truth, of love, and importantly, of reconciliation.